Yesterday, I finally completed DMZ. So I'd already got all of the weapon cases from our mass from building 21, but it took up until yesterday to finally finish the last mission. So now I've finished every single one. And today I thought I'd spend a little bit of time just kind of reviewing the first season, letting you know which missions were the best missions, which missions kind of sucked, what things I liked about DMZ, and what things I hope will change for Season 2. As ever, this video is sponsored by Gamerlink. I genuinely wouldn't want to play DMZ solo, so if you want to find a squad, consider using Gamerlink. It's a free app available on iOS and Android, and you can use it to find other players in over 350 different games. Check them out using the link in the description below, or just search the App Store or the Play Store for Gamerlink. So let's start with the good parts of DMZ, and I'm sorry I've still got a cold. It's been going on for like a week and a half. It's ridiculous. Hopefully I'll sound back to normal soon. So the main type of mission I found really successful, the ones I really liked, were the ones where you had to try and do it in one game. So the ones where you had to kind of go in with a bit of a plan, maybe go in with a decent set of gear, and then try to execute the plan and deal with all the stuff that got thrown your way. So like the one where you have to do 8 unique contracts. That was really cool because you'd kind of have an idea of which contracts you wanted to do, and then when you loaded into the game you had to see where those contracts were, how many of them there were, and then say if you were doing something like a hunt squad contract, that might take like 10 seconds to complete, or it might take absolutely ages. So you had lots and lots of variables that you had to adapt to as you go. That was really cool. Also, like the ones where you had to go visit every point of interest in one game, that was a lot of fun. I liked the ones where you had to just do fairly simple things like clear out 3 of the denied areas in one game. All of that stuff was really good because it didn't drag on, it didn't feel like a grind, but it did feel like a challenge, and you had like an exciting story while you were playing that game. For the early missions, the like easy tier 1 missions, I also quite liked the ones that just taught you how to use a mechanic of the game, like that one where you had to invite someone to join your squad. That's a really cool idea for a mission because it just gets people to realize, hey, this is a thing that you can do in DMZ. I definitely think they should keep things like that. Tier 1 should just be full of, hey, this is how you play DMZ, and taking people into strongholds, taking people to go fight shielded enemies and things like that. Just things that show you how the different features of the game work. In terms of missions I didn't enjoy, it's just all of the grindy ones. All of those ones where it wasn't just do this once, it was do this 30 times, or pick up this 90 times, or extract with this 100 times. All of those were tedious, because once you've done something like 3 times, you've kind of shown that you can do it, and anything beyond that is just wasting your time, and it feels like it. When I was collecting all those blowtorches, that was the last mission I had to do. The fact we had to find 26, like, wasn't fun. Finding that last 8 wasn't any more fun than finding the first 16. Like, it just became more and more annoying. Similarly, getting all of those 200 meter plus snipes with the MCPR, we needed to get 31 of those, and getting the first few was kind of fun. Like, it was fun trying to work out situations where we'd be able to do it, but then once you've done 5 or so, after that it's just tedious doing the same thing over and over again. I get that they want to keep people playing, they want to keep people engaged, but that just feels like they're wasting your time. It doesn't feel like your time's being valued, and it makes you start resenting the game a little bit. I really hope they keep those sort of missions where you have to get long range kills and things like that, but they just kind of shift it about so maybe you just have to do it 3, 4, 5 times, then you can move on. They could even make it quite a lot more difficult. They could make those kills a lot harder to get, or they can make the items a lot rarer, but just make it so you don't need to find as many of them. I also didn't like the missions where it was making you use a weapon in a way that it clearly wasn't designed for. So like Massive Stock asking you to kill players and AI from 150 meters away using an LMG. That wasn't fun, it was just super frustrating. Or the Fennec double tap one, because that mod is absolutely awful. Or the one where you've got to use a marksman rifle to get headshots from less than 3 meters away in Zio Observatory. All of those things are really silly, they don't really make any sense in the lore, and they're super frustrating to do, because you're just putting yourself at a massive disadvantage and having to do something that the game clearly wasn't designed around. In overall terms, one of the biggest things they could do to improve the missions is just to have another look at the rewards. A lot of them give keys or contraband weapons as rewards. That's pretty useless. I still personally think, and I know this is a controversial opinion, I think they should take insured weapons completely out of DMZ, because then contraband would matter. Then you'd care about contraband, rather than just using it as something to kind of tide you over until your insured slot unlocks again. I would really like it if they got rid of insured weapons, and then the contraband weapons they give you could be super valuable, they could be super interesting. It'd also be nice if the contraband you got from missions was something rare, like a blueprint, the sort of thing that you could buy in the store. It's not going to replace buying in the store because it's contraband, so you're not going to get to keep it forever. You're going to have like kind of a risk when you go in. But it would be kind of exciting to complete a mission and get some really cool blueprint. They also need to work on the rewards for every other aspect of DMZ. Like, with the weapon cases, it was crazy how many of those had nothing to do with DMZ. Like, for the Building 21 weapon case challenge, rewards, whatever you want to call it, there was some ridiculous stuff in there, like a skin for the heavy helicopter, which you literally can't use in any of DMZ, let alone within Building 21. Like, who thought that was a good idea to say, that's a good reward for someone who's super into DMZ? It'd be nice to see more rewards, like the calling cards and emblems that they did, where they're kind of tied to the faction, like the missions that you're doing. Stuff like that that's kind of tied into DMZ would be much better. It'd be nice if we had special skins that, you know, are linked to White Lotus or Legion or Black Mouse or Crown. If we had things that like were uniforms for that faction, I think that would be awesome. But instead, everything we've had seems like it's kind of the, you know, bargain bucket. It's all the stuff that's left over that they didn't want to use for anything more important, like the Battle Pass or a store bundle. Overall, I think DMZ Season 1's been a success. Like, yes, it's had a ton of problems, like from the missions that are just stupid, to the bot behavior where it's been super glitchy and they've been flying in the air and stuff, to all of the crashes that made people lose progress. There's been a lot of really significant problems. But it has been an awesome proof of concept that this is a mode that is fun, this is a mode that's worth pursuing. Before it came out, I was kind of ready to write it off as just a little side mode like Plunder or something like that, but it's been so much more, and I've had an absolute blast with like the missions giving gameplay sessions a little bit of structure, the PvP giving it a little bit of kind of random, you know, a little bit of excitement where you never quite know what's going to happen, and the challenge of the bots, meaning that it does feel like you've accomplished something when you get those missions done. The challenge level is just about right, where you don't have to be like some sort of amazing player at Call of Duty, at Warzone or anything like that to complete everything, but you do need to think about what you're doing, and there's a little bit of tension there, and I think that's absolutely awesome. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about DMZ Season 1 so far? What sort of things have you enjoyed? What sort of things do you really hope they change for the next season or the season after that? We've obviously got lots of big changes coming in Season 2. Of course, as soon as Season 2 drops, I'll be streaming it right here on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on. I'll also be making guides for every single mission. I think I'm going to be making a separate video for every single mission, so that should be pretty exciting. And of course, if you want to watch another video right now, I've got this video where we talk about some of the things that have already been announced ready for DMZ Season 2. Thank you very much for watching.